Is happening, bowlers? Chris Beans here with Bowlers Rant, bringing you some juicy updates on the Storm, Roto and 900 Global Discontinued Ball List. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons and turn on those notifications so you can get everything fresh, crackling hot from the Bowlers Rant YouTube channel. Helps the algorithm, helps me out, and I do appreciate your support of the channel. On this fine and glorious Friday, May 10th, 2024, we've got a list, and it's a pretty big effing list. The Journey, the High Road Pearl, the Electrify Go, Tropical Surge Purple and Gold, the Clone, the Exotic Gem, the Tour Dynamics, the Eternity, the Zen Gold Label, and the Exponent. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 balls being massacred from the current lineup. You know what that means. We are on the road to Bowl Expo, and while I'm not the first to get a video on this for once, but that probably will be the only time, because usually when I'm on it, I am on it, and no one's going to beat me on this. So let's talk about what we're looking at here. A little bit of symmetrical, a little bit of asymmetrical, and we are on the road to Bowl Expo. So a lot of stuff's being moved off so we can make room for this stuff. Bowl Expo is happening June 29th, right? That's right around the corner. So, over to the interwebs. Beans, break this down for me. You got it, buddy. Hold your horses. I'm getting there. All right. This, to me, the Journey is no surprise, okay? This is Belmo's ball from last year. I was covering the story on this. Charles Hutchinson did a fantastic review on this. It's his symmetrical TX16 Pro reactive, mid-RG ball. Now, I've heard a lot of people like the Journey, so this is one of those balls that you might want to actually stash, because if the next one isn't as good, this one's going to go up quite a bit in value on the second ball market, right? So get them while you can. Supplies, of course, are limited. Now, this has been a staple in the line for many, many years, okay? Has reactive gloss, of course. I think they were doing 4K fast before, and then before that was 1500 grit polish. So the question you should be asking is, why all of a sudden are they canceling the High Road Pearl? Well, I'll answer for you. They just announced the Road, and if I was putting my thinking cap on, I'm willing to bet the Road Pearl is going to be announced at Bowl Expo, and they don't want overlap. This ball is the cleanest ball in the line, according to Chad McLean from Storm Products over there. So this is one of those ones, again, if the Road Pearl doesn't roll as good as this one, and this one is pretty freaking good and it's pretty sharp, this one's going to be something that you're going to want to stash and probably hold on to. Added to the discontinued list, surprise last, you know what's going on. All right, the Electrify Go. So this one, I don't think anybody's going to, miss. I don't know a single person that owns this ball, and with the advent of, the Exponent line, which now is in question, but the Exponent Pearl being the best bang for the buck Pearl ball you can get on the market, I just don't see why this ball would survive. So is another Electrify coming? Doubtful, but I'm not going to lose sleep, nor am I going to, tell anybody you need to stash this unless this is one of those balls that you absolutely must have before it is no longer available. Let's talk about the Tropical Surge. I actually just bought this, and the reason I bought this, and I bought it in 13 pounds, and the reason for that was because both Chad McLean over at Storm and Nick Smith over at Brunswick both did videos on 13 pounds and how they were able to generate quite a bit of energy to the pocket, so I decided to pick one up, drill it no thumb, and give it the rev that I could, which I think was, last time I checked, 475 revs, no thumb, and it was just shredding racks, and I absolutely love this. So, should you stash this? Absolutely not, unless if you just like this color like I do. There's more Tropical Surges that are out. They just released one, a black one. It looks really good. It's pearl, so is this anything worth, sleeping on? I think you can go to bed and not dream about this, and you'll be just fine. Now, let's talk about Roto Grip. On the list, the Clone. This was the UFO Alert remake, kind of, except it was a solid. This one is interesting because it's a polished solid. Reactive gloss. Remember, it's Optrax solid. 251-056-016. Again, anything 011 to 016 is the sweet spot. This is a very unique look, in my opinion. There's some overseas balls that are just like this, but in terms of the SBI product index right now, this is a unique look. So it's interesting to see that this one being asymmetric and a polished solid being removed from the lineup. means something else is coming, in this probably HP4 section, and they got to make room for it. Why am I saying that? Because something else is in there HP4 as well, the exotic gem. So we're removing an asymmetric solid, and we're also removing an asymmetric Microtrax pearl. Okay. Now this one's got a much bigger. It got it's about the same size actually. Waveblock. Now that I think about it, 247 versus 251. So this one starts up earlier. 056 versus 053, not a ton of difference in the differential, just a little bit, and the same basic asymmetric differential, 016 versus 016, right? So when I think about this, I'm like, okay, here's another usability asymmetric pearl being removed from the lineup. Got to be making room. Rotocrip's got to be planning something big, okay? Because they're removing 3 asymmetrics from the line. So this other one, the Tour Dynamics. Now, this one should be of no surprise to anyone because we just saw the Ion Pro being released, and that's also kind of an asymmetric benchmark tour ball, basic same category. This one doesn't surprise me at all. Now, a lot of people were complaining to me on the Ion Pro video. They did not like this ball, or they thought it was bad sales. I don't know what the deal is because I don't really track ball sales that much unless I talk to my friends in the pro shop game and ask them what they're looking like. But in this one, is anybody surprised that this is going away? It's not. But out of these 3, if you were going to stash one, I've seen a lot of good things on the exotic gem. This would be the one that I would probably stash. And the reason for that is the Tour Dynamic. The Ion Pro looks really good. So do I need 2 balls in that Tour, kind of lineup? No, don't. Especially if I'm getting a hybrid, TX16 cover like what's on the Ion Pro. But all 3 of these added to the discontinued list. Man, massacres are happening here. Now over to 900 Global. It doesn't surprise me that this one's being added, right? Everyone was telling me this was kind of like the alternate reality kind of replacement, right? Gave you that same look, asymmetric pearl, S84 pearl, reactive gloss. And it's got this, core that we all know about. So I'm willing to bet a new lineup is coming, right? I'm willing to bet a new lineup is coming, and that's what's going to replace the Eternity, and probably a few months later, the Eternity Pie will follow. Because the Eternity Pie is not on the list. Now, between these two, I like the Eternity Pie better, but a lot of the people who make their living of destroying house shots with asymmetric pearls, this might be one you want to add to the list, right? So, might be good. Now, this one of all the ones on the list surprised me the most, the Zen Gold label. Because a lot of people told me that they liked the Zen Gold label better than the original Zen. And I think Luke Rosdahl was talking about how this was basically Rex Pearl just kind of rebranded. Provided that that's true, why would you not want to keep this in the lineup? The only answer to me is either another Zen is coming or something else is coming that's going to replace the Zen line that's going to fit in this spot, and they don't want overlap. Remember, bowling manufacturers like to create lineups. They don't like to create a whole lot of overlap, except sometimes when they do and they don't think about it and they launch something, then the next month launch something else exactly the same. Don't want to call out any names right now. I'm not trying to get people upset. I did a lot of that a few months ago, and I'm trying to let that chill. But this one's been added to the ball list. And the next one, the Exponent. Now, this is a big symmetrical solid. It's a benchmark ball. And it's smooth. And I actually, between this one and the Exponent Pearl, which I actually have, I like this motion better. So this one kind of surprised me. It kind of didn't. I mean, this isn't going to be one of those balls that I think anybody's going to really be like, oh no, the sky is falling. But there will be a few of you out there who are going to be disappointed. So if you like this motion and you like this piece, you're probably going to want to hang on to this. Versus this one, the Zen Gold label, without a doubt. If I was to stash one of the 3 of these, I would stash this one, without a doubt. A lot of usability, a lot of versatility. Versus this one seems like, okay, first ball out of the bag, and then if it's not working, you're throwing it back in the bag, and that's it. All right, just to review. Backwards, Exponent, Zen Gold label, Eternity, right? Tour Dynamics, Exotic Gem, Clone. Really sad to see the Exotic Gem, but I'm really excited to see what's coming from Roto. Tropical Surge, whatever. High Road Pearl, my heart breaks. And the Journey, not surprised. And the new Belmo ball is probably on the way. Bing, bang, boom. That is how it's done. Okay? Again, this list came out with the information from the Ion Pro. And Bowl Expo is right around the corner. So that brings us to the part where we have to speculate. What is in store for Bowl Expo from Storm, Roto Grip, and Brunswick? Do you guys expect a new Belmo ball? I know I do. Do we expect some asymmetrics? Absolutely, especially from Roto Grip. And do we expect to see some pretty badass symmetrical equipment considering two lineups from 900 Global, the Exponent and the Zen Global are both symmetrical on that Massacre list? What do you think? I want you to speculate with me. Drop me a comment, and as usual, let's continue the conversation. I'm going to put a link to Bowler Smart in the bottom, and then there might be an article coming from them. If I get it, I will add that to the list as well, where you can get more about information about that, including links to get these wonderful pieces of equipment. Okay, this is Friday. This is Beans. Thanks for watching. As usual, more updates to come. And until then, bow well.